What is a sin? Now, before you guys click off and say, oh, Jace, we know what a sin is. We don't need to watch this video. Let me tell you, we are going to dive deep into the meaning of sin and what sin is, okay? Because I have gone deep into it. So, before we can talk about sin, we really need to know what the world sees sin as, okay? And when I say what the world sees sin as, I just mean our society today. So just how everybody sees sin. Everybody sees sin as something bad that you do, right? Even people that aren't avid Bible readers, they don't know the scriptures and stuff like that, they all see it as something bad. So if I do something bad, like I go slap somebody on the face, that's a sin, right? And if I go give them a hug afterwards, right? That's something good that you do. That's a good thing. So why is that? What discerns good and bad? What is the root of it? And that's something that took me a while to understand, but it's also crazy because it's literally in the Bible. It's straight in the Bible. It tells you. But me being the crazy deep thinker that I am, I literally delved deep into my thoughts for like months trying to find out what is the root of sin? What is the root of good? What is the discerning factor? I'm about to tell you what it is. All right. Here's the discerning factor. Here is the way that you can never sin ever again. All right. Love your neighbor as yourself. And that might be like, well, I've heard that before. That's easy. That's easy, Jace. What the heck? Why are you even telling me this? I've literally heard this my whole life. Because you need to think about it a little bit harder. What is every single sin, every single commandment, what are they all derived from? Well, I'll tell you right now, they're all derived from loving your neighbor as yourself. And there's one more key part about it, okay? Because loving your neighbor as yourself is a worldly thing. It's a rule we follow on this earth, okay? But there is another rule that we follow, okay? And it's a rule that consists to the spiritual aspect of it, and that's loving God above anything else. We love our neighbor as ourselves, but we love God above anything else. And if you follow those two rules right there, you will be set. You're not going to sin ever again. But guess what? We're going to sin. We're going to sin. Let me give you an example of a sin that is derived from loving your neighbor as yourself. Okay? Go and I slap someone on the face. Right? Am I loving my neighbor as I would love myself? Would I want to be slapped in the face? No. If I go and steal something from someone, would I want to be stolen from? No. If I go and kill someone, would I want to be killed? Obviously not. And if I did want to be killed, is that still loving your neighbor as yourself? Are you loving yourself as you should be? Are you loving yourself to the extent that you should be loving yourself? Probably not. So that's what it's all about. And then when you think about that, this is the second part of the video, okay? This is really thinking about sin. This is where sin is completely defined, in my opinion, to the point where I can't define it anymore, but I can still try, okay? You can't physically sin. And you might be sent like going crazy right now. What are you talking about? You can physically sin, I can go slap someone on the face and that's a sin. I can go steal from somebody and that's a sin. I can go commit adultery and that's a sin. But I'm here to tell you right now, all those things you said, they are a sin. But physically, they are not a sin. The only way you can sin is if you've already committed the sin in your mind. Let me break it down even more. How do you move your body? Do you think it just moves on its own? And if it did just move on its own, that would not be a sin. If your body just moves against your will and slaps someone and killed them, that's not a sin. If your body just moved against its will and did something, you're not trying to do it, guess what? That's not a sin. But if you intentionally use your brain, because that's how everything works, all of your body is connected to your brain and your thoughts, use your brain to control your body to act on something, to punch someone, that's a sin. All right? If you accidentally do something, if you accidentally stole from somebody, you didn't actually steal because you did it on accident. If you pick up $1 off the ground thinking it was $1 you dropped, but it was actually someone else's dollar, are you technically stealing by society norms? Yes. But are you sinning? Did you actually steal in the general concept of stealing? No. No, you did not. You did not steal. You did it on accident, okay? And that's something that you don't even have to say sorry for because you did it on accident, all right? That's where it's all derived from. That's where sin, the root of sin is. It's all in your head. All of it. And guess what? That's all that matters is everything that's in your head. Because when we die, what's going to be left? This body is going to decay. This body is going to be useless. It's not going to have anything left. What's going to be left? Your mind is the only thing that matters right now. And I encourage you to go dig deep in your mind, okay? And go find things out for yourself. So with that said, use this little tidbit that I gave you. Go dig deep in your mind and find something out for yourself. Find something that you've been told for years that you never understood and really dig deep and fully understand it to the best of your ability. And with that said, I will leave you guys off here. I will try and make videos as much as I can, but I will see you guys later.